Hi guys, this is CK Astrology Activations. Moon in Scorpio. Right now, today, 8 degrees. And opposite Uranus conjunct Venus. When I speak these things, it's just to denote the geometry of the planets. And if you study astrology, knowing what aspects mean, what conjunction, oppositions, squares, things of that nature, it just shows the geometry of the planets. So the geometry of the planet that's significant in this now moment that I'm being called to even share information on, because I'm so deeply connected to the moon and the memories of the moon, is the divine alchemy and remembrance with this moon in Scorpio, because natally, my moon is in Scorpio. So when I was born, the moon was in the sign of Scorpio, which means my moon is in Scorpio. On my inner journey, my inner alchemaic journey of the wizard, of the scorpion energy, the transformer, the phoenix rising from the ashes, but has to die first, many, many deaths, ego deaths, cosmic deaths, deaths of selves, many selves. And so I've been on this journey my whole life. And part of the process has been alchemizing fear and what fear has done to, in the past lives, disable a lot of my creations. So here we are on a global sense facing that same frequency, that fear frequency on a bigger collective. So as an individuated self, most of my beingness has been in facing fear, has been understanding fear, has been tuning into the frequency of fear and what that means, and allowing fear to dictate a lot of my behaviors up until this now moment. So being able to have compassion for you guys who are deeply feeling this fear frequency, like really connecting to it on a soul level. It may not feel like it in this now moment, but I'm here to tell you through my voice, through the codes, and my frequency, and the sound, and the reverence, and the compassion that I hold for everyone that's going to see this, that's going to tune into this frequency. Honor this fear. Honor it, because it's here to bring us into a new space of consciousness we've never been. Because all of us get to feel this deep-seated fear that only maybe as individuals we got to feel, as a collective and simultaneously. Because the fears we feel about loss, losing loved ones, fear of loss of our families, of things, of sustenance, of security. We all get to feel this collectively in one full swoop. So this is a poignant time for humanity to decide how we face this fear, how we embody this fear, how we feel this fear. Because it's only in feeling the fear that we're going to be able to move through it. Just like sorrow, just like grief, just like any of the heavy hitters of the lower, heavier, denser, slower moving energies. That's all denser means, just slower moving. So we're all moving slowly together. As a matter of fact, we're all being made to stop, halt, go no further, go inwards, go see your families, go talk to your kids, go see how mom and dad are doing. Use the fear. Embrace the fear, because it's here. It's not going to go anywhere. And where you focus the energy and the attention is where it's going to go. And a lot of us are focusing it right now on this fear. So I'm not going to tell you to stop, because as a collective, and this is where my spiritual practice has really anchored me into delving into the fear frequency, is that I have had moments of such profound clarity and understanding and understanding, and my spiritual work over the last few months has been anchoring in that awareness through my practice and through just understanding, is that all is perfected state. All is self and all is divine. We just never saw how divine we were. We never understood alchemy. We never understood change and frequency and nature because we didn't get out in nature much. We didn't understand how nature works, and we are nature. And so when you get out in nature and you start seeing how things shift, we are part of that shift. We are part of this metamorphosis, this change, this alchemy that's happening. And it's necessary because it's pulling us in. It's making us go inward. It's the giant cosmic inhale of the breath. And so we're being forced to stay in our frequencies, to stay home, to stay in our borders, to stay in our planes, right? To stay in our own ports as we're navigating this energy field. You know, we can't go to any current port anymore. We have to stay within a certain frequency, and this is necessary to finally understand fear and truly be able to alchemize it through the frequency of love. It's a simple metamorphosis, and it's a transference, and it's a transmutation process, and it happens in the heart. It happens in the mind. It happens in that connective when you pull it together and you get into your practices. Whatever religion you were born into or you were taught growing up, for me, it was Catholicism as I was a child, and then I grew up First Baptist. In my younger years, as a baby, was a Catholic. Younger years, First Baptist. Then in my teenage years, it was non-denomination. So I've been raised in the church for the first half of my life. And that set the foundation for my spiritual, which I now embody the spiritual life. But those practices of going in and praying, of holding space, of closing my eyes and getting into another state of consciousness outside of myself and directing energy towards others, towards the world, towards my family, towards my son, towards my pets, towards my friends. That practice and that frequency does something to the heart and to my mind that calms everything. And so it doesn't matter what religion you originated from, what was your foundational to get you to this now moment, and wherever you are in your spiritual practice, it doesn't matter, which dress it shows up in. Just show up for yourself and understand that fear is a frequency that is a lower vibrational frequency. And if you want to get out of that fear, you just got to raise your vibration. And through that is our practice through prayer, especially prayer for others. That immediately lifts your vibration. And gratitude for the fear. I know it's challenging to get into these states to go, wait a minute, how can I be grateful for fear? Because fear means you love. Fear of loss, fear of loss of anything, whether it's loss of life, loss of family, loss of surroundings, whatever the case may be you find yourself in fear of, that means you still have the capacity to love. You've just been on the other end of the love spectrum. We all have been. As a collective, as a consciousness, there's nothing wrong with where we are. It's just a new space we're all in. And it's what's getting us there is this frequency of love, is this frequency of fear, and balancing that out, because love and fear is the same frequency. It's all the same energy. Energy is all the same. It's like degrees of water. You have really, really scalding hot water, and you have really, really cold water. And so there's varying degrees of the temperature, but it's all water. And sometimes the water shows up in different formulas. It's steam. When it's really cold, it shows up as ice. But it's all still water. So right now, we're just seeing all the dichotomy of where we are. Some of us are in the really, really cold states, which is the fear. In your perception, if that's fear, maybe the hot states are fear, depending on how you're perceiving it, because all perception's correct, all reality's real. And so when you get to these levels of understanding that all is self, all is perfected state, And love and fear really are just two different opposite ends of the same frequency, which is love, just varying degrees of it. Then you get to choose what degree that you choose to participate in. If you were in one extreme of high fear, then it's through your practices and awareness and choice to be in the opposite end or to move towards the other end of the spectrum that's what's going to give you that vibrational uplift that we all need. And so I would just ask, wherever you are in this now moment, whenever you see this video, that you stop. I call it the stop, drop, and roll. Stop what you're doing, drop into your heart, and roll into the frequency of love. Roll towards, if you're feeling, just extremes of panic and anxiety, there's lots of videos and tools out there on how to utilize breath work, EFT tapping, mudras, mantras, yoga. If you want to go deeper into the spiritual realms, there's other ways to access through Akashic Records, through astrology, through quantum healing, through sound. There's so many modalities now, guys, that are already out there, that are already being explored by a lot of different people and are now really going to get on the grid, because fear is going to point us to, well, I don't want to feel this prolonged fear anymore. What can I do to get out of this? Well, there's wellness tools out there, guys, that work, that are efficient, and some of us have been doing for quite a while. And I'm here to tell you, for a person who's lived most of my life in fear, these tools have been invaluable to me, because right now I can literally, with all my heart and soul, and I'm here to tell you guys, it works. I can be in my heart and not get caught up in the fear frequency because I recognize it. I've lived with it the majority of my beingness. So there's nothing to combat as far as fighting fear. We don't want to fight fear because it's just going to add more fuel to the flame. We want to convert it. We want to transmute it. We want to transform it. And the way to do that is through love, through prayer, through acts of service and kindness and givingness, and being there for one another, recognizing when somebody else is in fear, how they're feeling, what's going on with them. Reach out. If you've been having disputes with family, with your ancestors, now's the time to clean that up. Now's the time to reach out and show forgiveness and ask for forgiveness if that's what's necessary. Because at the end of the day, that's what's perpetuating this fear, is fear we'll never be able to see the loved ones again the way we saw them. Or never get to say that last one thing we wanted to say because we've been holding on to anger, or we've been holding on to unforgiveness. We can release all that now. And when you release all that, that's when the fear gets transmuted into love and forgiveness and oneness and understanding that all is self. And what really matters is what comes from the heart, through compassion and awareness and giving. And so I would just ask, in this now moment, you close your eyes and put your hands on your heart and take 3 deep, nice inhales with me, counting a deep breath in for 4, hold it for 4, and release for 7. Let's do that 2 more times. And with this last inhale breath in, I would invite you to breathe in a beautiful, crystalline, white, pink love light into the breath, calming the nervous system, releasing the endorphins and the serotonin, talking to the molecules and the cells in your body, and expressing love and gratitude for being able to breathe. And just keep breathing. If you need more of those 4-4-7 breaths, keep practicing that. Keep taking as much as you need to bring the hemisync, the brain, back to balance. And with the hand on the heart, staying in the heart frequency, igniting compassion and love through forgiveness, through awareness, and through embracing the fear. Feel the fear. Feel it now and breathe through it. Because it's through this divine breath that the alchemy is being transformed, that's happening in this now. And especially where two or more are gathered, we're arcing the energy in through our hearts, connected through this system, this computer system. It's all energy. It's all electromagnetic frequency. With all of my heart and all the love that I know to ever feel, that I've ever felt, towards my family, towards my pets, towards any being that I can just really feel that frequency of love, I bring that to you now with this next deep breath. And I exhale it out to you with reverence and compassion and understanding. We are all one. We're going to get through this together, guys. We're not meant to do this alone. But we have each other now. We've connected to this frequency. Thank you, fear. Thank you, fear. Because with this multitude, this frequency, this powerhouse, this tidal wave, through this Scorpio moon, now we can transmute it into this tidal wave of love and healing and understanding. Claiming it now, commanding it in within my own frequency. And so it is. I love you guys with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my being. Thank you, fear, for bringing us to this now. I love you guys.